Do you think devolution will sort out the problem? Because that was the idea, that services closer to the people, a leadership that's closer, that understands the issues, that will champion the way forward. But sometimes we've seen the same leadership coming under, accusations of being the ones who are entrenching and propagating some of these issues.
I think devolution is too young to be judged.
Okay.
It is only now 2.5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, it has not taken root yet. We have not even learned what devolution is. And we have not devolved enough. We have devolved the services that are to be provided by the county councils. Actually, if you look at the constitution, we have not created states. We have not created, units that can act on their own to actually improve the lives of people. We have just given them a few things. Maybe it's a test to see, or it's a way of setting them up for some problems happen, then we follow them. But I think if devolution is supported, if devolution is given the independence or that authority to actually work, it may actually work.
Okay.
But initially there will be problems. Initially people will think that their tribe has been given a county, so they will be now trying to appropriate for themselves, and that's what they're doing now. But then that, I think, will pass.
Okay. In keeping the memory of what happened those 31 years ago, there's a number of prominent people that are actually on a fast, started yesterday through to the 14th. And, I've been seeing a lot of social media, also tweets and hashtags on Wagala Massacre. As we wind up, your final thoughts, why do you think it's important that this conversation continues to happen, that Kenyans not forget that there were people butchered, there were people, these atrocities that were committed, Kenyans, non-Kenyans, but living in Kenya as well, 31 years ago?
Okay, I think it's important that we know our history. I think it's important that the young people actually come to know what has happened in the last 51 or so years of our history, because that will inform our future. That will inform how we deal with. Someone made a comment last night in an event where I attended and said, "Be careful about the next election."
Wow.
Yeah. So that we don't become the ones that turn off the lights. The last people to actually turn off the lights. So we should know what happened. We should know this context informs how we react to things. This context informs how we can, deal with even the devolution itself. So that we don't tribalize it. We don't create more problems for ourselves. So we should not forget the people who died in Wagala. They were Kenyans. Maybe 99% of them were just normal people like you and me who were going about their business. Some of them were civil servants. And you see, they could be you.
Could have been anyone.
It could be anybody. So we should remember them. We should be able to participate in these commemorations, and then we should do more. We should do more.
And hopefully,
we should put pressure on the government to act in a different way.
Yeah, because it's not enough that these things happen in this commemoration, but that there is pressure enough to see that something definitely is done to ensure, as you've mentioned there, we don't see a repeat of this going forward. So thank you. Thank you, Salah Abdi, who's the author of Blood on the Runway, which also just captures these events of what happened at Wagala Massacre, what unfolded. And is life different there? I must ask that before we go. You mentioned when you're growing up, most of the families growing up, it was, mothers leading the families, fewer men. Is that picture still the same now?
I think what happened after that is because of that culture. A culture has developed where women are the ones who work and raise families, and the men chumira and enjoy themselves. So that culture has actually been entrenched.
Okay.
So if you go to Wajir, probably you will be surprised to see strong women leading families, doing business, doing a lot of things, and very many men who are just having a hippie time,
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us in our show this morning. The Wagala Massacre, continue to send your messages as the country throughout this week through to the 14th commemorates those atrocious acts. Michael, 31 years ago, lest we forget.
Lest we forget, absolutely. I think it's a conversation that we must continue having, and even if it's just for the sake of justice and closure for the victims, it's a conversation that we cannot stop. So thank you so much, Salah Abdi, the author of Blood on the Runway. You are only 6 years old then, but I'm sure having lived there and having some of the victims as your relatives, it must be something that you really want to make sure goes on. And thank you for coming and having that conversation with us.